Hi everyone, welcome. It's Wine Down Wednesday. Hooray! We can drink wine officially because I said so. Welcome everybody. Just going to wait a minute just to see who's going to be tuning in and making sure that you can see me and hear me. With one of my cameras, I might fiddle with it halfway through because we're going to start standing up and then we're going to come down to the floor. If you have got any little weights lying around, or even if you want to grab a couple of water bottles, these are only like 1.5 kg. They're not massively heavy, but we're just going to be using them for a bit of feedback. Obviously, any exercises you do without them is absolutely fine, but if you wanted to grab a couple of weights, whether they are the dumbbell weights or bags of flour. Who has flour? No one can buy flour. It's anything heavy. So I'm just going to come and check in, just make sure everyone's good, got thumbs up, can hear me. Just checking my messages here. Hello. Lovely. All right, lovelies. So make sure you've got your glass of something nice near you as well. Don't forget, that's very important. All right. So let's get going. So we're going to come to standing, everybody. Last week we kind of worked for quite a sort of short space of time, but really intensely, which was really, really good. And we're going to obviously do similar today because we don't have a load of time. But what I thought we'd do today is try and do about 10 of each exercise, but we're going to take things a little bit slower. So we're going to just really work with gravity today and really learn how gravity can help build our strength, okay? Because we really want to resist against gravity to build strength in all our muscle groups. So we're going to come to standing. I promise we will come to the floor. We will finish on the floor, but just come and take a nice standing position. So have your feet a little bit further than hip width. I'm trying to adjust this camera a little bit just so you can see my feet. And just take the weight forward and back. Just take a little quick check into your posture. If I turn sideways, just making sure that tailbone is sort of dropping down, not tucking underneath you. Don't stick the bottom out, closing the ribs down. That kind of idea of closing the ribs down is going to be really important. Just take a couple of shoulder rolls. Just breathing in, breathing out. Just release any tension. Okay, so don't worry if you haven't got weights, okay? You're still going to be working. Just if you've got the weights, you're working a little bit harder. So take the weights here, glue your elbows into your side, and we're going to take a little rotation of the arm in the shoulder socket. And this is called dumb waiter. Try to not break in the wrists. So you've got nice long wrists here, and you've got a gentle connection navel to spine. And you're opening and really feel that stretch across the front of the shoulders there. Okay, open and close. And I've lost count already. I said we were going to do 10. Let's say that's 5. And then let's do 6 and 7 and 8. So if you do have weights, you can feel this working a little bit more than if you didn't. But if you don't have weights, you can still feel that stretch across the front. Let's just do one more for luck. Now let's go, before we move on to the next one, hold it here, really open a little bit more, and then just take your head over one shoulder and just really get that chin over that shoulder, and you should feel quite an intense stretch depending on how tight everything is down the opposite shoulder. And then just bring everything back to the center and then open again and just take the chin over the other shoulder. So the more you kind of push your arms back or the hands back, and the more you try and get your chin over your shoulder, the bigger the stretch. So a really great stretch to do if you find you take a lot of tension into the front of the shoulders. Feel free to take that again. If you've had enough of that stretch, then we're going to move on to Cleopatra arms. So you're just drawing the arms up, and then you're drawing the elbows back in and then close. So you open here, you're drawing up. So keep them slightly in front of you. here, not behind you, and draw them back here. So if I just show you to the side, and that's about 3. So if you have got these weights, you can feel this working. Reaching up, drawing the elbows in and back. Little bit of navel to spine connection. Keep the ribs down. Lovely. When I say lovely, I'm sure it's looking lovely. Unless you're just watching with your glass of wine. You could do this with glasses of wine. Why not? Good. Breathing in, breathing out, drawing in. I've got no idea. Let's do 4 more. 4. Drawing those elbows in. Lovely. 3, 2. Try to keep the wrists nice and long here. Don't break into the wrists. 1 more for luck. And drawing in and back again. Good. You should feel that working into the shoulders. From there, we're going to do a little exercise called pole raises. So take your hands. Again, don't worry if you haven't got the weights. If you've just joined us, just you can still do this. Just have your fingers nice and long. If you don't have the weights, your hands are just here. Okay. If you've got the weights, hold on to the weights. You're going to take everything up to your ears and back again. I'm just going to show you from the side. So you're trying to get them as high as you can without breaking into the back. So don't banana the back. Take the arms up. Try to get them by your ears if you can and bring them down. Breathe out on the way up, in on the way back down. Lovely. That's 4, I think. Well, let's say that's 3. 4. Good. Keep going. All the way up. 5. So really draw the ribs down as you come up. Don't banana into the spine. 7. Told you Pilates teachers can't count. 8. Keep going. Up. Down. Let's do 2 more, just in case I miscounted. 1 last one. Up and down. Lovely. Roll the shoulders there. So nice movement into the shoulders. Okay. From there, again, with or without the weights. If you've had enough of the weights, pop them down. Take the legs a little bit wider. We're going to do some side reach. So take the arm up, and then you're reaching up and over. And just get a nice stretch. So obviously, if you've got the weights, it just adds a little bit more dynamic to the movement. So this is movement 1. Movement 2 is just up and over. Okay, don't rotate in the hips. Keep the shoulders pointing forward. Feel this work into the waist muscles, into those obliques, up and down. So move the arm first, then the spine. If you want to, take that bottom arm up and reaching up and coming down. If you've got those weights, you're going to really feel that. So feel free to pop the weights down, because adding that second arm is quite a lot of work anyway. So we'll start counting. Let's do 8 of these. And reaching up and down. So either with both arms, without the weights, with both arms, with the weights, or just a single arm. So you've got a few options there. Drawing navel in, up and down. Good. Keep looking at that wine. Let's earn those calories. Lovely, everybody. Up and over. Keep the hips pointing forward, reaching up and down. Up and over, reaching up and down. Let's do 4 more, because I've got no idea how many we've done now. Breathing in, breathing out. Just keep breathing and just taking it a little bit more dynamically. 1 more to either side. Navel to spine. Reach, 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 reach. Down, up, over. Really reach, up and down. Roll the shoulders there. Well done, everybody. Give the legs a little shake. All right, so now we're going to just come and take some movement into the spine with some roll downs. If you have got weights, roll downs are really nice with weights, because you're just getting a lovely stretch into the spine. So just have the feet a little bit further than hip width apart. Hip width apart. Drawing navel in. Take the head forward and just slowly release down through the spine. If you've got those weights, just allow them to let that lovely stretch happen in your back. At the bottom, just shake your head a little bit. Get rid of any tension in the neck, in the shoulders. Draw your navel in and rolling back up. Keep the weights if you have them. If you don't have the weights, do not worry. Okay, this is a lovely movement for your back. Just go as fast or as slow as you wish to for this. If your back is feeling a bit sore and a bit stiff, and just take it nice and slowly. If you want to go a bit more dynamically, then you can. See if you can go all the way down on an out breath, and then hold for an in breath, and all the way up on an out breath, up at the top. Breathing in, breathing out, all the way down. Just remember with roll downs, just let your spine move and really draw navel to spine. Let's go 4 more times. All the way down. Bend the knees if you need to. And up. If that back is feeling a bit warmer, then just take them a bit quicker, if you've not done so already. 2 more, rolling down. Good. And up. Just feel that stretch into the back of the legs as well. All the way down. Down, 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 down. Releasing up, 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 up. And just come all the way back up to the top. Roll those shoulders. Pop the weights down. We'll come back to those in a minute. Okay, lovely. So just finish off those roll downs and then just roll into the shoulders. And then we're going to come down onto the floor. So I'm just going to adjust this camera a little bit so you can see me on the floor. My little microphone. Okay, cool. Okay, everyone, come down onto the floor. We're going to come down onto our side before you start lying on your back. All right, so let's do some movements for our legs. So we talked about at the beginning how we're going to really use gravity today to try and build strength. So we're just going to go through a couple of side lying exercises. If you can, try to be up on your elbow here, onto your hip, and your legs are in a kind of capital A shape. A little bit wonky because my mat's diagonal. If this is too much into your shoulder, absolutely, you can be here, okay? No problem at all. But if you can, be up on your shoulder. Try and be lifted here up into the waist. Join your heels together and just try to make sure that the hips are pointing forward. We're going to do a little exercise called oyster or clam. But rather than just opening and closing, where we're not really doing much, open that top knee and then open it a bit more without rolling. Really find the work into the bottom, into the hips. So really open and now slowly close the leg. And you will find that it's going to work you much more than just opening, closing, opening, closing. Okay, so open that leg. I always say open it a bit more without rolling into the hip. And then slowly, slowly lower the leg down. A little bit of work into the tummy here as well. Open, slowly, 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 slowly. Good, let's just do 5 more of these. Let's really work into the bottom. Okay, good. I wonder what everyone's been up to today and yesterday in the rain. Who has dodged the rain? Who has got out in the rain? It's like a different season out there. Good. Really slowly, slowly close. Open a bit more. You should start to be feeling that work now into the bottom. One last one. Okay, if you're getting achy into the shoulders, come off of that shoulder and come and lie down on, or take your head into your hand. From here, we're going to open a bit more. Now we're going to extend. So keep that thigh nice and still and close and down. Yes, you can really feel that work into the bottom. Open that knee, keep the thigh still, extend that leg, the lower leg, down and in. Engage the core, send all the energy here and keep lifted. Don't sit into that shoulder, keep lifted in that underside waist, down and lower. I can really feel that in my bottom, so it's really working. Keep the heels turned forward, don't turn that leg in, try and keep it out. Good, open a bit more. Lengthen away, down and close. I know I said we were going to do 10 of each, but I've completely lost count of how many oysters and how many of these we did. So let's just do 1 more of these. Okay, keep breathing. Open, in and down. Give that leg a little rub. Okay, from there, drawing the knees up towards your chest a little bit. Now you'll need to come down onto that elbow a little bit. Just try and make sure you're nice and straight at the back. We're going to do some lift and lower, so we will do 10 of these. Turn the toe down towards the mat or the floor, just so you can really feel the work into the bottom here. Lengthen in the waist, lift and lower. That's about 4. Okay, keep the tummy working. Keep it nice and long through the back of the leg. That's about 6, 7, really slowly against gravity, remember, 8, 9, 10. Good. Bend that leg in, give that little rub. So they're quite nice to do. And if you have a bit more time, you can obviously do more repetitions. So let's go on to the other side. And we've got oysters, and then with the extension, and then we lift and lower. So again, try and be up onto your elbow if you can. Have the heels opposite the bottom. Sitting up nice and tall. Try not to sit into it. Pushing up and away. Open here, open a bit more. Slowly close that leg. What you'll probably find is that you can feel more work, or it's easier on one side than the other. So that's absolutely normal. Often we've got much more movement in one side of the hip than the other. This exercise is building work into the glutes, but into the hips. So it's really good for hip stability and pelvic stability. So if you've got any issues into your lower pelvis, front of your pelvis, your hips, anywhere really, it's a really good exercise. It's a bit like roll downs, where I just think it should be in the curriculum of life. Oysters, roll down, zigzag legs are my faves. Just keep everything nice and working nice and supple. Good, everybody. Open, don't cheat. Open it a bit more and slowly lower down. So this week we're just taking it a little bit slower, but you should still be feeling that work. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Let's do 2 more of these, and then we're going to come into those extensions. Try and keep lifting up and away from the mat. If it's too much into the shoulder, then come off and rest your head into your hand. Right, keep the thighs still. Lengthen away. Heel or toes down and close. So it's open, it's extend, it's in, and it's down. Keep breathing, open. Lift, keep it turned out, down and in. Keep this nice and still. Open, keep this still. In and down. Good. Let's go. 4 more times. 4. Keep breathing, lifting up. Everything's working here. 3. Good, everybody. Open, lift, in and down. Last one, open. Keep the heel pointing forward if you can, and down. We're coming off of that shoulder, resting the head into the hands and drawing the knees up towards the chest a little bit. Lift and lower. So turn the toes down towards the mat, and we're lifting up and down. Lifting away, keeping nice and long into the hips. Good. Long, 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 long. Up and down. Keep that tummy working. Keep smiling. Keep breathing. Got no idea how many we've done. Let's say that's 4. Try not to collapse into that waist. So you're keeping the hip down nice and long through the back of the heel. Okay? Good, everybody. 3. I know I can't count, but 2. And 1. Last one. There. Draw that in. Give that leg a little rub. Now you can roll onto your back. Okay? Good. Have a little sip of water, of wine. All right, lovely. Bring my lesson plan here. So come and take a lie down onto your back. And I think you can all see me. Good. And we're going to take the weights if you have them. Okay? But again, not to worry if you don't. Okay, so just take a moment to massage your pelvis, tilt the bottom, and just massage into that lower back and find your neutral pelvis. So it's where a marble would be resting in the middle. So not rolling up towards the belly button or down towards the toes too much, somewhere in between. You should have a little gap in your lower back. Okay, and from there, just going to draw the knees and the feet together. So glue the knees and feet together. Just make sure you've got those weights to hand. We're going to do an exercise called hip rolls. So your knees are going to go one way, and you're moving from your hip, but you're not going to go so far that you lift the shoulder off the floor. So I'll just show you without the weights first of all. So you're going to roll from one hip. So let's say your knees go to the left, you're lifting your right hip, and your right arm is going to come out, and then you're closing everything. So it's a bit of coordination. You're not going too far, not going all the way. You're really controlling this again against gravity. If you've got those weights, grab hold of them, because that's going to add a little bit more difficulty into the movement. So let's keep going. Let's squeeze the knees together. Take one side, take down the opposite way. If you have done this before and you know this exercise, feel free to take the legs up into what we call a double knee fold and try this, but you're not going to go as far. You're going to really feel those obliques working. So you're just taking the legs over to one side and drawing them back. So either have your legs up or down. Just keep the arm that's not moving really still, coming all the way over and up. Navel in towards the spine and just finding that work. Really resist against gravity. So your legs are either up or they're down. So I'll just demonstrate both. So keep going, everybody. This is about, let's do 10 sets. So I reckon we've probably done about 10 in total, so another 10 more each way. Good. So long in the waist. Take that arm all the way out and back in again. Squeeze the knees together here. Keep breathing. If you feel like you've got the hang of it with your legs down, then try it with legs up. And I'm just going to do the last few here. Let's do 4 more in total, either side. All the way out and back in, and out and back in. Last one to either side, and in and back and in. Take the legs down, hug the knees in towards the chest if you need to. And then we're going to go into our bug, which we did last week. Your legs are going to be, you can either do this with your legs on the floor. So this is, if your legs are on the floor, you're sliding one leg away from you with the opposite arm witut bananaing into the back. So you're keeping those ribs down. You can do this with your weights as well. If you're adding in those weights, it's going to be a bit more tricky as the arm comes back. Okay, so let's just do a few of these. If you've not joined in already, sliding on the floor. Okay, keeping the pelvis nice and still, keeping the ribs down. If you can, you're going to take the legs up. We're going to do exactly the same thing. The higher the leg, the sort of easier it is. So don't take those legs too low to start with. One arm comes back, and again, nice and slow. We did these last week, probably a bit quicker, but let's take them nice and slowly. Drawing navel to spine, keeping the ribs down. Don't arch into that back. Okay, so you've got options here. Keep the legs high, take the legs lower, keep the legs on the floor. Weights, no weights. So take the option that's good for you. Don't overdo it into the back. Make sure that you can really draw navel in all the time. Good. Keep working against gravity all the time. Should really have a time with someone else counting for me. In class, generally, there's always someone that will be counting. Let's go. Let's go. 5. I'm going to try and do 10 sets in total. 4, 3, 2. So 4 more in total. Let's go. Try to up the stage if you can, or take it down a level if you need to. Last one to either side. Nice and slow, nice and slow. Draw them back in, take them down. Good. Okay, from there, what are we doing now? Spine tails. So let's just put the weights down for a minute and just bring your heels slightly towards your bottom a bit more and hip width apart. And we're going to just roll that imaginary marble into the belly button, push into the legs and just coming up to a nice spine curl here. Breathe in at the top and then exhale, navel to spine. Keep the hips high. This is another one where you really need to work against gravity. So you're rolling into the pelvis, rolling into that lower back, pushing everything up, not overextending, trying to get a line from your knees to your hips to your shoulders. Breathe in at the top, press everything down into the floor and try to keep the hips high as you come down through your spine. All the way down, slowly, 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 back to that neutral. Okay, just come up a little bit quicker if you can, but coming down nice and slowly. So you're not just coming up and down, you can come up a little bit quicker, sort of pop the hips up, but then slowly down. It's a slightly different movement to come up a bit quicker, down, 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 down. So let's do 5, a little bit quicker, so pop the ribs up, but keep the hips high to come down, 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 down. And 4, pop the ribs up, squeeze the bum, press those feet into the floor. And 3, ribs down, tummy in, rolling down. And 2, all the way down. And 1. So you can really feel the bottom and the back of the legs working and you're kind of popping those ribs up high. Good, everybody. From here, either roll onto your side and come to sitting, or take a full body stretch and challenge yourself with a roll up, all the way up there. Okay, good stuff. Well done, everybody. So from there, we are going to try 2 different things, with or without the weights. Come to sitting, and we're going to do our half roll backs, and then we're going to try full roll backs for those of you that know you can do your full roll backs. Take the hands out there, leave the weights down for a moment. We're going to do a C curve, like a little curve with the spine. So you're rocked off of your pelvis. Then move your shoulders away from your knees. And you're coming to a half roll back. Really draw navel in. Breathe in here. Exhale, keep the curl to come up. So you're making a C curve. Then you're moving your shoulders away from your knees, not too far. Feel those abs working. That's where you stop. And then you come all the way back up here. Options are stick with that or add in some weights. So you're rolling back. So with the weights, again, you're just going to feel a bit more work. Breathing in, exhale to come up, restack. So C curve, rolling back, half roll back. Breathing in here, breathing out, and restack. So if you've got those weights, depending on how heavy they are, keep with this. You feel free to try the next one, but I'm putting my weights down for this next one. Depends how heavy they are. If you're here, an extra to try is to take the arms back to those ears and breathe in each time. 3 times. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and then roll up. So you will find, you can really feel those abdominals working as you take those arms back. So depending on your weights and your strength, I don't recommend trying it too much with those weights, but you can, it's up to you. So you can take them here, don't go too far, and you can really reach up because you can feel those abdominals working. Just don't go too far back here. In and all the way up. So options, with or without the weights, with or without the arms, okay, half roll backs, here, 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 here. Keep going, either stick with that. The last option, if you want to move on or stick with what you're doing, is a full roll back with or without the weights. The weights are quite nice to use on a full roll back. Come back to a rib cage closure without popping the ribs. Don't take the weights all the way to the floor. And then the weights should, in theory, help you up because you've got a lever there. And then coming forward and up. So just for the last minute or two, play around with either a full roll down, which is what I'm doing now, roll back, sorry, I should say, with or without the weights, or half roll backs, with or without the weights. So draw your navel in. Whichever one you're doing, just try to find a C shape with your spine. Okay, don't come all the way back with a flat back. Chin to chest if you're doing these full roll backs. And breathe. Let's do 2 more of whatever version we're doing. Full roll backs, half roll backs, with or without the weights. And let's just do a last one. Really lovely movement for the spine. Good for your abdominals. Breathing in, breathing out as you come all the way up and then pop them down there. Oh, well done everyone. There we go. You're all done for the evening. Congratulations, well done. Give yourselves a pat on the back. Well done you. Give those arms a roll. Hug those knees in towards your chest. Have a nice big stretch. And cheers to Wednesday. Yes, it's Wednesday again. But I look forward to this. I look forward to my Wednesdays, my glass of wine midweek, and seeing you guys virtually. So feel free to do this whole thing again. It's up on my YouTube channel and on my Facebook page. It just uploads automatically. Have a flick through from last week. And I've put a couple of other bits and pieces on my YouTube channel as well. There's quite a nice 8-minute of abs on there, which is quite a nice bit of work for your abdominals in 8 minutes. And hope you're all well. And hopefully I'll see you next Wednesday. Or don't forget my Fitness for All on Friday at 11 a.m. live on YouTube and Facebook as well. Keep looking at my social media. Keep in touch and hope you enjoyed that. Cheers and see you all virtually soon, I'm sure. Cheers, everybody. You worked hard. Well done. See you guys soon. Okay.